Alright, so if you saw my last video, we got all the rust removed off of here and everything painted up. It's all looking good, except for the cover, of course, which we're going to replace today. So this would be a how-to to do it on a Dana 60 axle. And the way I do it, you will not have any leaks, and it will not be seeping and dripping out of the bottom like it usually ends up doing. Hey, I'm Kenny, and this is my truck. Alright, so you want to make sure you have all your stuff ready. This takes about 3 quarts. We got 3 quarts ready. Got the gasket maker, regular old ultra black maximum oil resistance, that's the one you want to use. You got your limited slip additive, catch can, and start taking all the bolts off and let it drain out. Just as an added note, this bolt right here was actually an Allen head size 8, because it doesn't clear unless it's an Allen head. So you have to reuse this bolt. There it is, opened up. Just need to clean these flanges off real well. That way they're ready for the gasket maker so they can make a good seal. Now this truck actually has a door code that says it's a 430 limited slip. However, if I turn this forward, you can see it's turning the other axle backwards. And now if it was limited slip, I wouldn't be able to do that. If the one wheel moved forward, the other one would have to move forward unless it turned the drive shaft. So this one is not limited slip. So now that it's open, one of the things you want to do is kind of soak up the oil that sits down there on the bottom, because you don't want that dripping. You want to wait 24 hours after using the gasket maker before you put oil back in. And if you don't wipe that up, then that will actually be sitting against the bottom of the gasket and might cause an issue. Alright, so I got that cleaned up really well. I'm going to put the gasket maker on. Should be interesting with one hand. You do want to go around the bolt holes. A nice continuous bead. Alright, that right there is what you want. Continuous bead all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect. It does squish. It doesn't need to be real thick, because again it will squish down when you put the plate on. Alright, now you just want to tighten these initially until you just start seeing the gasket maker come out the side. See how it's coming out? Just around the edges. And then you wait an hour, and then you tighten them up all the way. Alright, refill time. I did wait the hour to tighten them up fully, and now I've waited 24 hours for it to cure all the way. I'm going to refill it. Refill it right through this hole right here, and you fill it up to the bottom of the hole until it starts to try to come out, and then you go ahead and put the plug in. Call it a day. Alright, got the bottles opened up. Just remove the seal and cut a little hole off the lid there. You do want to put something down in case something drips out. Otherwise you'll get stuff all over your driveway. This is the third quart. You see it's almost full. You just want it to go to the bottom of those threads. And try not to overflow it. There it is. That is basically perfectly to the bottom of those threads. I'll put in just another little tiny bit. There it is. Now this cover came with kind of a funny plug here. You seal it just by using thread tape like you would for a regular plumbing connection. I'm just going to tighten it up until I have good engagement of the pipe thread into it. It's not really about how tight it is that seals it, it's the tape itself that seals it. So there we go. Now, just as a side note, it took right at 2.5 quarts of this Dana 60 to refill it. So you'll need 3 if you want to do it. Another trick is, especially with these cheap covers, to keep them looking good. Like I said, this was only like 30 or 40 bucks. You want to keep wax on them, or some kind of ceramic product or something like that. Keeps the dirt off of them, keeps the corrosion from building up, keeps it from getting those salt marks. Alright, if you liked the video, like and subscribe. I'm sure there'll be more good stuff soon. Overall, I think it came out pretty good.